wake up, it's time to be free. Wake up, was blind, now I see. Wake up, it's time to be me. Wake up, my mind is the key.
Wake up, it's time to be me. Wake up, my mind is the key.
Welcome, my name is Julian Gordon, founder of the Freedom School, and I want to welcome you to my brand new show, The Daily Jules. This is the absolute first episode, and I just want to tell you a little bit about why I created the show. One day, I was thinking about what I would have to teach my daughter, my little daughter here, what I would have to teach her by the age of 18 to ensure that she was free and could pave whatever path she wanted to by the age of 18. And so I started looking at my own life and what I've done to actually increase my degrees of freedom. And this is what this show is really all about, in addition to the courses that are in the Freedom School. And so every single day, I'm literally just thinking about whatever it is I'm thinking about in relationship to freedom. And any new insight or aha that I have, I want to share that with you. I usually share it in the form of a metaphor or a methodology or a mindset shift. And so that's what this show is really all about. It's really about you increasing your degrees of freedom. I don't care how many college degrees you have. The only degree that really matters to me is your degree of freedom. I don't care how much money you make. The only thing that really matters is how you make money. You know, we've been duped and indebted by the education system, and the education system, while providing tons of debt, hasn't really taught us how to master ourselves and actually position our lives for more freedom. In fact, it binds us more than anything, and I know so many people who I love and care about who are indebted to the education system and will be until they're 30 or 40. And I believe that anybody, if taught the right things, can actually be free by the age of 40. And so when I think about my daughter and the life that I want her to be able to create for herself, not choosing necessarily a career path, not thinking about getting a job, but thinking in such a way where she's like, how do I actually create jobs to create freedom, not only for myself, but also for others? And so that's why I created this show, is really just sharing my thoughts about freedom every single day. And again, for me, freedom is not just financial freedom. This is not about getting rich quick, though I want you to have abundance, I want you to have wealth, and I want you to have more than enough to actually live the life that you desire. This is beyond financial freedom, because the reality is that we don't want green pieces of paper and we don't want silver coins, right? What we ultimately want is the freedom that having some of that provides. And I think it's that we want the freedom to actually live out who we truly are, who we naturally are. And a lot of the ways that people are trained to get money now actually cause them to compromise who they are. They lose themselves along the way. I believe that most people want the freedom to give to the world, to give freely, to give to the world in the way that they want to give, to whom they want to give through their work. And the way I define that is purpose. And that was the beginning of my work. I started my work in terms of helping people get clarity on their life purpose and how to align that personally and professionally. And I've been doing a lot of traveling, speaking, consulting, and there have been very few major corporate environments where I have seen people actually experience freedom, where I've seen people experience freedom and experience purpose inside the context of a major organization. And so what that's led me to understand is that I believe that entrepreneurship is the fastest path to freedom. Today we are living in what I call the entrepreneur reality. The entrepreneur reality is basically suggests that we are all already entrepreneurs. An employee is simply an entrepreneur with one big client, and that is their employer. Now, I don't care how much money you're making. If you lose that one source of income, what happens? Everything falls apart. And so what I like to call our generation is the incomes generation, plural, incomes generation, where we're a generation who looks at the world not for employment, but we look at the world entrepreneurially. And by looking at it entrepreneurially, we're going to be people who naturally and on average have multiple streams of income. And so in this show, we're not only going to talk about the financial side, but we're going to talk about the spiritual side. We're going to talk about health, wealth, relationships, everything that is tied into your freedom and impacts it. That's what we're going to cover on this show. And I'm so excited about the content strategy that we have set up in order to just continue to share and keep this conversation about freedom going. Now, like I said, the intro to the podcast and the show is wake up, it's time to be free. Wake up, was blind, now I see. Wake up, it's time to be me. Wake up, my mind is the key. I want you to recognize and realize that you are a gold mine. you are a gold mine, meaning that everything that has been in between here is not 2 cents. Never ever again say that that's just my 2 cents. Everything that you have, all the experiences and knowledge that you have in between here, that is gold. And what I want to teach you is how to extract that gold and use it to create the life that you truly have. So again, we're going to be covering mindsets, we're going to be covering metaphors and methodologies that help you extract the gold, the value that is already here in between your temples, right? Your body is your temple. And so that's what this show is really all about. And what I want for the world, my vision, is a world where everybody lives out their purpose. Doing purpose work and helping people get clarity on their life purpose, the number one blockage that I experienced was people not knowing how to create a business model that would sustain their purpose. A lot of people do their purpose part-time, right? They do it on weeknights, mentoring. They do it on weekends, volunteering or serving at a church. And I don't think we were meant to do our purpose and give our greatest gift to the world, which is our purpose, part-time. We're meant to do that full-time. And so with my business education, in part from the Stanford Business School, in part from just the School of Hard Knocks, being out there in the streets and selling, and not drugs, but being out there in the real world selling, offline and online, I am in a position to actually combine those two, or to combine purpose and profit. I have a deep spiritual foundation, but then I also have a deep business background, and I combine those two to help you actually give your purpose to the world, to live your purpose every single day that leaves you not only fulfilled, but also leaves your pockets filled at the same time. I believe you should be rewarded for living out your purpose, the God-given reason why you were here. And that's what this show is really about, is about combining those two. A lot of people think, oh, I need to make a lot of money over here, but I may not love what I do. And then there's people who love what they do, but they're not making enough money. And I don't think that those two have to be mutually exclusive. I've been able to create a life that allows me to live out my purpose on a daily basis and be abundantly rewarded for doing that work. And I believe that it's possible for everyone. I believe in freedom for all. And if I had this education that I'm giving you now, if I had these insights, I believe that everyone can actually be free before 40. And I believe that my daughter will definitely be free before 40 because of this show. Right? Because of everything that I share here, this archive of knowledge, wisdom, and insights of these universal principles, I believe that she can reach the age of 18, decide whether or not she wants to go to college, and actually pave whatever path she desires in order to be free before 40. And hopefully for her, it's even younger than that. I don't think we have to wait till 65 or quote-unquote retirement to be free. Anybody who's searching for early retirement, they're on the wrong path, right? Because early retirement usually means that you're seeking early retirement usually means that you hate what you do. What I found when I talk to people who are free is that they actually don't have a desire to retire. They do not have a desire to retire because they love what they do so much. And that's the space that I want you to be in, to not only feel purpose-filled and excited about the work that you do every day because you know its impact on other people, but also be abundantly rewarded for that. And so that's the purpose of this show, is to remind you that you are a gold mine, and to help you be free. And what you'll notice and what I've noticed on my journey to freedom and talking to people who consider themselves to be free, is that once you achieve a level of freedom, you actually want to go back and free as many people as possible. There aren't a lot of people who I know that are absolutely free. There are not a lot of people who I know are absolutely free. And I'm talking about people who have more money than me, who don't feel free. I know because I coach them, I consult for them. They do not feel free despite having quote unquote more money than me, right? This is about inner wealth and how to manifest enough outer wealth for you to preserve the inner wealth that you have. But outer wealth always comes from inner wealth. If you don't feel like you are enough, then you won't have enough. But if you feel rich inside, if you recognize that you are a gold mine, then that will start to manifest in your outward experience. And so this is what the daily show is about. I want to be in your life every single day. I want to be there every single morning. If you are starting your journey to freedom, the best place to start is with your morning. Before the demands of the day start piling in on you, kids, email, your boss, whatever, before all that starts piling in on you, you should be able to own at least the first 5 to 15 minutes of your day. And I want to be part of that first 5 to 15 minutes, whether you're meditating, whether you're working out while listening, whether you're driving to work in solitude and that is your space. I want to be with you on that journey and just keep this conversation about freedom going. Because if we focus on freedom as the goal, right? Not just more money, not just a higher paying job, not just a bigger company, but if we focus on freedom as the goal and we are constantly reminded of that ultimate destination, I know for certain that we will all get there faster together. So that is why I created the Daily Jules. It is a show that I'm just committed to share my thoughts on freedom, every insight and aha and mistake and success and experiment that I do and have. I'm going to simply just share it with you. Some episodes may be 3 minutes, some episodes may be 20 minutes, but I am here to give, to support, and to just forward this conversation about freedom. Because I know that if we changed the education system, and the goal of the education system was freedom, we would educate much differently. And since the education system is this old bureaucratic system that I don't see changing anytime soon, I'm stepping in, filling in the gap, and going to be that source of information and wisdom for you to help you increase your degrees of freedom. So with that, this is Julian Gordon with the first ever episode of the Daily Jules. I'm so glad that you are joining us. Please subscribe on the podcast, on iTunes, or on YouTube, or on Facebook. And whenever you hear an episode that blesses you, please share it as widely as possible, because freedom is better the more of us that are experiencing it. So with that, I want to say thank you so much, and stay tuned for the next episodes of the Daily Jules. Peace. I hope these mindsets, metaphors, and methodologies blessed you. If you desire more freedom, go to getfreenow.com to subscribe to the show on iTunes, YouTube, or Facebook, and get 4 of my best courses in the Freedom School for 100% free.